Let's do this. It's no secret by this point that I am a huge Breaking Bad fan, and with 3 episodes to go, I wanted to pretty much put in a video what my predictions were for the final fates of the characters. I won't make you sit through 17 minutes of this. That's how long my burn notice video was. By the way, God bless you if you sat through that. So I'm going to do this very quickly, and hopefully I'll be right about at least some of them. Before we start this video, I want to go ahead and warn you about spoilers, even though I probably really shouldn't have to do that, considering I said that this was a video about the final fates of Breaking Bad characters. If you're not caught up, don't watch. I'm about to ruin a whole lot of shit. I'm going to start with the characters whose fates are pretty much the easiest to predict. Lydia, dead. So dead. She's nervous, she's paranoid, and she's conniving. She was dead from the moment she came onto the show. Todd, aka Meth Damon, aka the fuck up, dead. This character is so creepy. So incredibly creepy. He has to die. There really isn't another fate for him. He has to die. My wish is that he is shot by either Walt or Jesse. Or maybe even Lydia. I mean, he's kind of got like a weird thing for Lydia. Maybe she'll flip out and shoot him in the face. I don't know. In either case, dead. Stephen Gomez, dead. Yeah, dead. It sucks because he's kind of the only character that hasn't completely thrown out the rule book. But there's kind of a harsh justice for those kind of people on Breaking Bad, unfortunately. Also, it should be noted that I'm recording this after the episode to Hajili, so there is a nice big shootout that we're on the cliffhanger of, and from the looks of it, it looked like Gomez had already been shot. Thankfully, I'm not the only person who kind of saw that. I've heard some comments about other people realizing that he had a bit of red on his shirt at some point during that sequence, and it was most likely blood. So yeah, Gomi's not gonna make it out. Ted Beneke. Now, he actually hasn't really been all that mentioned in the second half of season 5. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out anyway. Dead. I mean, there's really no point for the character to live, especially since he hasn't really come back into the scene. Although Breaking Bad could pull him out at the last minute and have him contribute to the storyline or the overall arc. I don't know. That's again the great thing about the show. You have no idea. But I say dead, or I mean at least on the inside, because the guy's never gonna walk again after his little accident. So dead in either a physical or emotional way. Either way, he won't be recovering very much. Huel and Kubi. Kubi? I think I said that right. Kubi. Huel and Kubi. I don't see these characters dying, especially Huel. I don't think the show has a real purpose for killing Huel off. He's not really a threat. It's very easy to forget that he's a bad guy in a sense because he's just so damn lovable. So jail for him and Kubi, or Bill Burr's character. I have a much easier time saying Bill Burr than I do Kubi. Badger and Skinny Pete. Rehab. Hopefully. I really don't want to see these two die. I don't think the show would really have a reason to kill them off. They aren't threats. But either jail or rehab, or maybe even some sort of protection, but the show really doesn't have a reason to put them in witness protection either. So rehab or jail. Andrea and Brock. For the record, I think Andrea and Brock will be just fine. I really can't see anything negative or messy or violent happening to those two characters. But I should admit that I did have a vision of Jesse sort of going the route that the character of Shane from The Shield did in the series finale, which was pretty brutal. I won't say it here because I imagine that there are at least a couple of people who are going through The Shield right now, but it ain't pretty. But again, that was just a random kind of thought that I had. I'm sure those two will be fine. With that said, there's also the other rule that exists in Breaking Bad. If Jesse loves it, it will die. So make of that what you must. Walt Jr., foster care. Dear God, let it be foster care. I really don't want to see anything happen to this character, and hopefully nothing will. I really can't see anybody wanting to do anything horrible to Walt Jr. His father is a drug kingpin, and his mother very recently Heisenberged herself. So that's kind of the best outcome for Walt Jr. and Holly as far as that goes. Marie, institutionalized. She's crazy. Hank, dead. I don't know what people are hoping will happen to Hank. I'm still Team Walt in a way, but I do realize that for this show to have any sort of justice, Hank will probably win. So maybe he'll win, but I think he'll still die. If not during the shootout at Tuhajali, or in Tuhajali, I guess that would be the correct way to say that. Then before the end of the show, at the hands of Walt, most likely, or maybe even Jesse, if Jesse suddenly kind of turns and decides to take him out. Saul Goodman. I originally said in my betting bad predictions that I thought Saul would be going to jail by the end of the series, but if I could change it up a little bit, I think Saul is actually going to get away with what he's done, and I think he's going to end up in another state under a different name, probably practicing law. That's kind of a long shot, but Saul is kind of too slick to go to jail. Jesse Pinkman, gosh, this character is so heartbreaking and so hard to watch on screen. And before the last couple of episodes, or at least the Tuhajali episode, it really looked like Jesse was going to end up putting a bullet in his head. He feels a little bit happier now. Well, not happier. He just seems like he's more aware of his surroundings and more interactive with what's going on around him. So he could end the series on a little bit of a higher note, but it won't be a completely turned around Jesse. Like he won't lose his wounded puppy look or anything. But it's looking better for him. It's looking like he won't commit suicide. So I'm going to say just deeply depressed. Skylar White. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I would have said that Skylar would escape out of this unscathed, but she recently kind of broke bad. She hasn't really committed any sort of sins, I guess, but she has proven that she's willing to go there and that she's okay with Walt going there now. So I think that has greatly changed her outcome on the show. I think it makes her more susceptible to a very violent and messy ending. So I really can't say where Skylar will end up. It's kind of a mystery. She's the one person I'm insanely unsure about. I can't see her dying, but I can't see her coming out of it okay. It's like a very strange gray area in my head with Skylar. So I'm very unsure about that. But either way, I'm sure we'll be insanely satisfied with what happens to her. Walter White, Mr. Heisenberg himself. His fate has already kind of been sealed within the course of the show, I think from the moment he breaks bad and becomes Heisenberg, you kind of figure he's got to end the show by dying. The only question is, does Walt die from cancer, or does he die from Hank, sir, or Jesse, sir? That made no sense. Walter will die, and he will leave behind carnage and trauma and a weird, sort of unlikely legacy for a high school chemistry teacher. And maybe he'll get, a chemistry lab named after him. I don't know. He'll die, though, and it'll be brutal. Thank you for watching my Breaking Bad Final Fates video. Again, I don't claim to be right about any of this stuff. If you have predictions that you want to share, maybe you can leave them in the comment section, or if you know me personally, you can just approach me on the street or come to my house and then tell me how wrong I am about everything. I'm okay with that. I don't have to remind you when or what time Breaking Bad comes on, but I mean, it's going to be really intense. However loud you think you're going to scream, I'm probably going to scream 10 times worse at the outcome. So thanks for watching. Until next time.